CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
John Fox in his first season in Denver watched his Broncos lose 4 of their first 5. He made the change at quarterback. Denver has won 2 of their last 3 with Tim Tebow leading the offense. Meanwhile, Todd Haley still with the beard. He didn't shave this week despite the loss to Miami. He said, hey, we're still 4-1 with it. And besides, my wife kind of likes it. So the beard stays.
That's as good a reason as any.
Broncos won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so Kansas City will have the football to start the game. Javier Arenas is back. Missed last week with an injury. The 102nd regular season meeting between these two great AFC West rivals. Kansas City came in leading the overall series 55-46. They split the 2 meetings home and home a year ago.
Yeah, I grew up in Kansas, and I remember these 2 teams have been playing since, well, longer than I can remember. And it's a real fun game for me to do. Watching these 2 teams is one of the great rivalries, particularly since they've always been in the same division, and there's been good blood, but mostly bad blood between them.
Matt Prater is set to get us underway, and here we go. Line drive kick. One bouncing out of the end zone for a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20. Matt Castle brings out the Chiefs for their first possession. He's thrown for 1,600 yards, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, as the Chiefs are still searching a bit to find their identity on offense.
As we said in the open, Castle has got to be really just steady. If he can just stay away from mistakes, his game would improve tenfold, but he's made as many mistakes as he has good plays, and that's been the reason they've been on a roller coaster this season.
Keep it on the ground to start. Offside. Jackie Battle fights his way to the 24-yard line. Up front, the Chiefs will try to come back after giving up 5 sacks last week against Miami. Casey Wigman, underrated. He has quietly stepped up as one of the Chiefs' leaders at center. The backs and receivers, it's a running game by committee. Jackie Battle, the Chiefs' leading rusher. We'll also see Jones and McCluster. Preston has been a nice addition, and they'd like to get the rookie, Jonathan Baldwin, going as well. Thomas Jones is checked in. They give it to Jones. Right side. And he cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1. Tackled by Elvis Dumerville. Broncos defense ranked 22nd overall, and Dumerville back healthy, and he can bring it off the edge. The linebackers, they're fast and athletic. Von Miller, the rookie out of A&M, has been as advertised and getting better every week, and they've got future Hall of Famers in the secondary, and Champ Bailey and Brian Dawkins, the rookie Quentin Carter, the starter today at free safety. Castle will throw on 3rd down, and here he goes. Slides for the first down at the 32-yard line. Chris Harris made the stop after a pickup of 10.
Well, the Chiefs electing to go no huddle in the early going. Not a hurry up, no huddle, but certainly getting the defense to line up quickly and not allowing them to substitute. And then Castle, seeing man coverage, he takes off running. None of the defensive backs knew that he was going to take off and run it. They didn't watch him. Had plenty of room to make the first down.
Just underway here in Kansas City. Battle is checked back in. Play action. Castle will throw. Center of the field. That's caught by Bow. And there's a marker down on the field.
Castle took a big shot there.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me? 10-yard penalty.
They call it on the left tackle, Brandon Alberts, so this is coming back.
Well, they got the completion, but Matt Castle felt it. He steps up in the pocket, has plenty of time, delivers it on time, and bang. Von Miller lets him know it's going to be a long afternoon. It's a clean hit. He was on that last step before the contact and the ball was gone, but Von Miller has really exploded onto the scene. A top draft pick, the highest draft pick in Broncos history, making his presence felt.
Second player selected overall. So 1st and 20 after the penalty and movement before the snap.
Now this is going to be on the center. Casey Wigman.
Ball start. Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
Yeah, the guy who snapped the ball was wrong. He double-clutched it right here. Watch the football. Well, he couldn't. He stopped it. He started stopping. He said, you can't hide when you're the center.
So 1st and 25 for Kansas City. Opening possession. Castle under pressure, and he's sacked. And that is the rookie Von Miller, who has had an outstanding first year in the National Football League, now with 7.5 sacks.
Well, we said in the open, it's going to be crucial for the Broncos to storm the Castle. With just 4 guys rushing, Von Miller gets right in, goes through Pope. Both tight ends trying to block him. That's Pope and Baldwin actually trying to block him. Couldn't get it done. If you can get pressure with just 4 guys, if you're the Broncos, it's going to be a long afternoon for the Chiefs.
And they keep it on the ground with McCluster. And he gets it back out to the 20 where this opening possession started. A pickup of 7. Chris Harris made the stop.
Yeah, unbelievably going backwards on their first series. But it's running back by committee here in Kansas City with McCluster, with Jackie Battle, Thomas Jones.
Now 3rd and 22. Castle finally gets rid of it, and incomplete, in and out of the hands of McCluster. So after a promising first few plays, the Chiefs are going to have to punt.
Yeah, they did have a first couple of plays were very good, and then all of a sudden they started going backwards with penalties and sacks, and it turned bad in a hurry.
Both these teams have given up points on defense. The Broncos are 31st in points allowed. The Chiefs ranked 26th. Juan Cosby back deep. Dustin Colquitt, whose brother is kicking for Denver, is on to boot it on 4th and 22. Good high kick, but short. Fair catch called for and made by Cosby at the 42-yard line. And there is Tim Tebow taking the field. Broncos' first possession is coming up. Great field position for the Broncos on their opening possession as they start 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. 11:42 left to go on the first. McGahee alone in the backfield. And they give it to McGahee up the middle. A nice hole. Powers his way for a first down into Kansas City territory to the 45-yard line. Tim Tebow just trying to tune out all the chatter during the week and focus on Sunday. A week ago, he ran for over 100 yards through 2 touchdown passes. Just the 6th player in NFL history to accomplish that feat as he led the Broncos back against the Raiders. McGahee stopped after a pickup of 2. The Broncos have those 2 huge offensive tackles up front, both 6'8", and Ryan Clady, who's been to the Pro Bowl, and the rookie Orlando Franklin. Backs and receivers, McGahee has put up some great numbers, and Eric Decker has become the go-to guy in the passing game. 2nd and 7 after a pickup of 3. They give it to the fullback. Spencer Larson. As we take a look at the Chiefs on defense, they've got the big men up front. Dorsey and Jackson are top 5 picks. Greg over from Baltimore, Angry in the middle. A couple of outstanding linebackers in Tebow and Derek Johnson, who's having a Pro Bowl-type season. And in the secondary, Carr and Flowers are the corners. They missed John McGraw against the Dolphins, but he's back this week, starting at strong safety. 3rd and 1 after the pickup of 6. First possession for Denver. McGahee muscling his way for a first down.
Well, this is the power running game that Denver wants to run. McGahee is really very conventional. None of the read option we've heard so much about during the week. None of that here. Just a simple pro set, single back. Power run right up the middle. Willis McGahee getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, but spinning enough for the first down. 3 straight runs and a first down. That is exactly where the Broncos want to be in this game.
And Knowshon Moreno has checked in. Tebow gives it to him. Moreno down to the Kansas City 30-yard line.
Well, there you look. That kind of looked like that read option as Tebow rode the running back right down into the line of scrimmage before he actually pulled his hands out. We spoke to Derek Johnson about this kind of play, and he said, you know, we would rather him give the football away every time in the run game, because then it's just like every other normal running play.
Moreno stays in the game. He had 2 of his best games against Kansas City. Rushed for 161 here last December. And they give it to Moreno, trying to bounce it to the outside. He gets to the edge. Leaps one man. What a move, Knowshon Moreno. Down to the 5-yard line. John McGraw finally brought him down. And how about that?
Sensational run by Moreno. Brandon Flowers comes up to hit him low. As you'll see him come around the corner, and he'll just whoop, up over the top, down the sidelines. What a great athletic move. See, Brandon Flowers thinks he's got it. Wow.
A pickup of 24 yards. First and goal from just outside the 5. McGahee has checked back in. Trip receivers to the left.
They have not attempted a pass yet.
And they still haven't. McGahee stumbles and he'll lose a yard. Tyson Jackson stacked it up.
That's amazing. You go to an NFL game in this day and age where it's all built around the quarterback and the receivers and the liberal pass defense rules, and you get a team that comes in as we look there at Willis McGahee staying down. That's a huge loss for the Broncos if he cannot continue. But in this day and age, you see a team not throw the football once on their opening drive and get inside the 10-yard line.
So they continue to look at Willis McGahee. Back to Kansas City after
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. KFC, introducing the new KFC Cheesy Bacon Bowl. Today tastes so good. And by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, a moment ago, Willis McGahee running up. You see there as he hyperextends his left leg. Don't know whether it's a knee. He seemed to be holding his hamstring. We'll have to wait for a report from the Denver sideline.
empty backfield for Tebow on 2nd and goal. From the 7-yard line. Tebow will keep it. Cuts it back. Fights his way to the goal line. Touchdown.
Well, 3 different ball carriers got the Denver Broncos down inside the 10. None of them were Tim Tebow. And then in the final play of the drive, Tim Tebow carries it for the first time in the game and gets in for the touchdown.
A 7-yard touchdown run by Tim Tebow.
Not a single attempted pass by the Denver Broncos in that drive.
And set up by the 24-yard run. Spectacular run by Knowshon Moreno. And Prater on to try the extra point.
With all those runs, Denver only had to convert 1 third down on the drive.
He boots it through, and with 7:31 left to go in the opening period, it's 7-0 Broncos. Tim Tebow puts the Broncos on the board. And let's take a look at this week's task force, Steve.
Well, Tebow has taken a lot of heat for his passing, but one thing we know he can do is run that run option. In Florida, we saw so much success from him in a national championship type of setting, and now just last week against the Raiders, Denver rolled out the exact same play. Watch here as Tebow is watching the end guy on the line of scrimmage. When that guy makes his choice, Tebow makes his, goes out the backside and turns into an enormous play in the run game. And you see the ball handling. That's why it's so hard to decipher. McGahee actually had the ball, but didn't get to carry it. really puts a lot of pressure on the defense to decipher who has the football.
8-play drive, 57 yards, culminated by the 7-yard touchdown run. Prater kicks it away. Javier Arenas is the deep man from the 1. And now close to the 20-yard line. And let's check in now with JB in New York for an update.
All right, take a look at how the Steelers are getting it done. All right, Ben Roethlisberger, opening drive, 8 plays, 54 yards. He rolls to his right, finds Jericho Cotray, 16-yard touchdown. Pittsburgh up in Cincinnati, 7-0 early. Steelers getting it done through the air. Ben with 300 or more passing yards in 3 straight games. Back to Bill and Steve.
All right, fellas, thank you. A huge game in the AFC North as the Steelers came in a half game behind the Bengals and the Ravens at 6-3. Castle throws on first down. Out across the 25 to the 26-yard line to the fullback, LaRon McClain. Brian Dawkins, the veteran, made the stop. And Veterans Day, of course, was Friday. And this November joined the NFL's Salute to Service campaign to honor our nation's veterans and active servicemen and women. Learn more at NFL.com/salute. Pickup of 8, 2nd and 2 now for Kansas City.
55.
Just their second possession of the game.
51.
Dexter McCluster has checked in. They give it to him. Left side. Some nice running. And he powers his way out close to the 35-yard line before Joe Mays, the middle linebacker, made the stop. A gain of 8.
Yeah, McCluster, a smaller running back than Jackie Battle, very fast. These Chiefs fans have seen him come out of the backfield, catch passes in kick return game. He's one of those players that you'd love to get the ball to into space. You see there Willis McGahee working on the hamstring, which I think is a positive sign.
His return, we're told, is questionable. 1st and 10 for Kansas City. Castle will throw on first down to Tebow near the first down marker. Champ Bailey had the coverage, and that's going to be a fun matchup to watch today.
Well, Champ Bailey, who's been to the Pro Bowl more times than any other player that's ever played his position, working against Bo. You see how big Bo is in relation to Bailey, but let's face it, when you've been to the Pro Bowl 10 times at cornerback, there's nothing new under the sun. I mean, you've seen it all. And Bailey, nice job tackling after the catch. Even though they got the completion, they weren't getting any more. 2
interceptions last week. Playing with a fractured finger. McCluster gets it. Good penetration on defense. A loss of 1. Ryan McBean, the versatile veteran for the Broncos, made the stop. And let's take a look at this running back by committee.
Well, with Battle, McCluster, and Thomas Jones, they're all trying to fill the void left by Jamal Charles, who was injured at the beginning of the season. This is what they're really missing right here, points on the board. They need more production when they get down close from these 3 guys.
2nd and 11 for Kansas City. Thomas Jones is in the game as Castle operates from the shotgun. Under pressure. He's going to take off and run it into Denver territory. Chris Harris tripped him up.
Chris Harris ripped his shoe right off his foot. And you'll watch here as he breaks through. And this is what we saw earlier in the game. Broncos playing man-to-man coverage. The defenders are looking at the receivers, not watching the quarterback, as Castle sees it and runs up, and he's trying to get his shoe put back together very quickly here as he's about to accept the snap.
3rd and 4. And here come the Broncos on the all-out blitz. Castle just got rid of it and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Steve Breston. He would have had enough for a first down.
Oh, he needed some help from Breston and didn't get it. Castle did a sensational job of staying poised. Watch, look at that, right in his face. He's got Ryan McBean coming right at him, and he holds on to it, lets it go right on target, and Breston can't pull it in. Sensational job by Castle, and he gets absolutely nothing for it.
So again, we'll see Dustin Colquitt. Cosby is back deep, standing at the Broncos' 8-yard line. High end over end punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 8. Broncos will go back to work. 7-0 when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Toyota. And by Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint.
Boy, you got to give him a thumbs up.
You never go hungry when you come to Kansas City.
Wow, nice.
Denver Broncos still have not attempted a pass. They went 43 yards for the touchdown, all on the ground. They start from their own 9-yard line. Moreno out to the 11-yard line. Glenn Dorsey made the stop. Let's take a look at some of the running plays from the opening touchdown drive. That spectacular leap from Moreno. And then the touchdown by Tebow from 7 yards out.
And when you think of Tim Tebow, that touchdown run is exactly the kind of run you think about. A tough, hard, inside run from a quarterback. It's unique.
2nd and 7. Lance Ball is checked in now. Out to the 14-yard line. Derek Johnson, who has become the heart and soul of this Kansas City defense, having an outstanding season as they continue to work on Willis McGahee on the Denver sideline.
Well, we spoke to McGahee yesterday, and he said, you know, that he felt like in that Denver game a couple of weeks ago, in the Detroit game when they got clobbered, he did not play. He really believed he could have made a difference in that game. And having him out today, I think really spells a big problem for the Broncos.
Moreno is back in. He had 161 here last December and ran for 106 when they played Denver a month earlier. Moreno still on his feet, gets to the outside. He's in space, tries to cut it back. Still on his feet. What an effort by Noshawn Moreno.
And now he's down.
Moreno, who had injury issues earlier in the season, is still down on the turf after a pickup of 22 yards.
Well, injuries are a fact of life in the NFL. But when you start getting a lot of injuries to the same position, sometimes it's just too much to overcome.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
2:18 left to go in the first, and now it's Noshawn Moreno who's being worked on the Denver sideline.
Well, he's going to go into a pile here, and right there as his leg gets caught up above him, he gets bent. It looks like they're working on his knee.
Now they give it to Spencer Larson, the fullback, first man through, and he muscles his way out across the 40-yard line. Tamba Hali led the charge to make the stop.
Well, with McGahee and Moreno injured for the time being at least, it looks like the Broncos are still going to force the issue with the run game. And if you can get 5 yards a crack on first down, you can do it. But sooner or later, you know, they're just going to run out of time. They're going to have to start throwing the football.
They have yet to throw a pass. 2nd and 5. Denver already close to 90 yards rushing. Tebow to Royal. And Royal has a first down into Kansas City territory.
Wow, that is a throwback, a triple option. Goodness gracious. Tim Tebow has the option. The first back through, he can give it there to Ball, keep it himself, or as you see it, he decides to toss it to the outside to Eddie Royal. The triple option.
A pickup of 12. And it's 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 48-yard line. Mike McCoy, who's been described as a bit of a mad scientist.
Well, he's got a smile on his face there. Did you see that? He's looked like he's looking at the sideline saying, hey, you guys, did you just see what we called?
So we're going to see a lot of Lance Ball, and he gets it on 1st and 10. Down to the 45-yard line. Derek Johnson made the stop as we near the end of the first quarter.
Well, you watch this and how it's unfolding here for Denver. And I'll tell you this. You see that offensive line up front of Tim Tebow. For all that's said about the atmosphere of this league being a throwing lead, those offensive linemen love this game plan. They want to throw it. They don't want to throw it. They want to throw their bodies in there and just run it all day. Offensive linemen would pay to play in a game where you don't throw.
So that's going to be the end of the first quarter with the Broncos leading 7-0. We'll return to Kansas City after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Ready to start quarter number 2. Broncos down a couple of running backs. Willis McGahee and O'Shawn Moreno both being treated on the sideline. But the Broncos continue to move the football on the ground. 2nd and 7 from the Kansas City 45-yard line. This drive started at their own 9. Larson, the fullback, is back into the backfield. Play action. Tebow will throw. Has Decker deep. And Decker makes the adjustment but can't haul it in. Brandon Carr closed on the coverage.
Well, on the 15th play, offensive play of the game, Denver finally throws a pass. They've had 6 different ball carriers, have yet to have anybody to actually catch a pass. And this, Decker goes up for it. Nice job on the coverage by Brandon Carr. Tebow lets it go. And he's taken a lot of knocks. That ball was not terribly thrown. Could have been further out in front of Decker towards the hash mark there out in front. But you'd like to see your receiver come down with that. Carr did a nice job coming over the top.
And Carr is still down at the goal line. Started his 57th consecutive game today. Came in with a couple of interceptions in his 4th year out of Grand Valley State. So timeout on the field here in Kansas City. We're back, and Brandon Carr left the field under his own power, albeit slowly, as the Broncos face a 3rd down, 3rd and 7. They have to get it to the Kansas City 38 for a 1st down. Empty backfield. They spread him out for Tebow. He's going to run it on the quarterback draw. And there is no running room for Tebow. Tebow was waiting.
Well, Chris Cooper tried to pull around in front of him, but the Kansas City Chiefs had an answer. Watch as the right guard, 73, pulls right out in front of him. Tebow's going to follow him in there, but the Chiefs pursue to the hole, read the play very quickly, and Tebow ends up catching Tebow as he tries to bounce it outside. You see right there as he started to head inside, 2 Chiefs showed up, and he had nowhere to run.
So we'll see the other Colquitt brother, Britton, came in ranked in the top 3 in net and gross punting average, having an outstanding year. Arenas is back deep. End over end punt. And they'll down this one inside the 10. At the 5. And let's go back to New York for more on the Steelers and the Bengals. Here's JB.
2 impressive rookies here, Dan. Oh, no doubt. Andy Dalton and A.J. Green. Andy Dalton rolls out to his left, gets time, throws it up in the end zone. Over 2 Steeler defenders. A.J. Green, 36-yard touchdown. 14-7, Pittsburgh still in Cincinnati. Green came down wrong on that right leg. We'll keep you updated on the status of his injuries. Bill McAtee, Steve Tasker.
JB and Dan, thank you very much. Andy Dalton continues to be impressive, and so does A.J. Green. Brief timeout on the field. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. They trail 7-0, 14-12 left to go in the half. Battle is the deep back. They give it to him, left side. Dives forward to the 10, and once again, let's go back to JB in New York.
Tony Romo looking impressive early. Oh, yeah, he's been perfect today. 10 of 10 for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. This 5-yarder, LaRon Robinson in the corner of the end zone. Tony Romo's been perfect in Dallas. 14-0 Cowboys over the Bills. Bill McAtee, Steve Tasker.
All right, guys, thank you very much. 2nd and 7 for Kansas City. Still trying to get something going on offense. Castle is swarmed under.
Well, they're going to spot it out about the 3-yard line. It looked for a moment like it was going to be a safety.
DJ Williams was the first one there.
Play action to battle, and nobody even looked twice at it. And look at that. DJ Williams coming in there untouched. Right up the pipe. Castle has nowhere to run. Well, there you have it. The ball came loose, and it was fallen on by the offensive line. That was a fumble in the sack, and it was recovered at the 3-yard line.
Casey Wigman recovered it. So the Chiefs avoid disaster. 3rd and 14. McCluster. Joe Mays made the stop, and the Chiefs are going to have to punt, and their offensive woes continue.
Well, we spoke to Matt Castle. He said we've got to play complementary football, which means field position, no turnovers, no big mistakes, and play good football. You've got to get first downs. The offense does what it can, but bottled up inside his 10. You don't want to take any chances, get a tipped pass for an interception. They almost had a fumble on the sack and give it up. Best thing to do is punt it away, try and play good defense, and force the Broncos to put the ball in the air.
And Denver should have very good field position. Colquitt taken at the 38. And out close to midfield. 12-18 left to go in the half. A 56-yard punt and 10-yard return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Scottrade. See for yourself why so many investors are saying, I'm with Scottrade. The HTC Resound, the only phone with built-in Beats audio. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness.
Willis McGahee on his way to the locker room as the Broncos start 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Noshawn Moreno is already in the locker room. So the Broncos down 2 running backs. They give it to Lance Ball. And Ball powers his way into Kansas City territory, a pickup of 8.
Well, it's obvious in the early going this is going to be a run-first game for both clubs. It's going to be a field position, defensive struggle. 3 points are going to be enormous. And play selection, look at the Denver Broncos. 16 rushes, the 1 pass off play action. John Fox playing it close to the vest with his young quarterback. We'll see how long it can last.
Ball. And he has a first down for Denver close to the 40. A gain of 6.
Well, that's 2 runs and 14 yards of offense. I mean, you don't have to run the football or throw the football when you can pick up first downs without throwing it. They don't even threaten to throw. If the Chiefs can't get stiffer against this run game of the Broncos, they're going to get about 2 possessions for the rest of the game, and the Broncos are just going to take their time, push it right down the field, and get into the end zone. The Chiefs have got to pull out all the stops to get into the run game.
And the word on Noshawn Moreno is a knee injury. His return is doubtful. Broncos take a timeout. Just under 11 minutes left to go in the half. 7-0 Denver. Back at Arrowhead, get scores and manage CBS Sports Fantasy Football teams on your mobile phone. To get the free app, simply call *CBS or go to cbssports.com/mobile. 1st and 10 for Denver from the Kansas City 40. Eddie Royal around the right side, and he's down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. A pickup of 6. Brandon Flowers, the cornerback, made the tackle.
Well, you won't see a more creative running game than you're seeing here today with the Denver Broncos. They've got everybody who can walk carrying the football. Tim Tebow handing it off to everybody. Denver getting first down after first down without even threatening to throw the football. They're coming out in normal formations, but Tim Tebow just giving the football to whoever's back there, and they're getting first downs.
Broncos have thrown just 1 pass, again on the ground. Lance Ball, nice hole right side, and he has another first down. The Broncos are on the move down to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 9.
Watch this offensive line going right up the middle. Force the Chiefs to pursue the ball to the sideline, let the back pick his spot, and pound it up for a nice gain as the offensive line just comes off in that zone blocking technique. The offensive linemen don't cross or stunt. They just move off the ball, help each other, and then push to the second level.
Second youngest offensive line in the National Football League. And again, they keep it on the ground up the middle as Tebow stumbled.
That looked like one of the run options. We spoke to Tim Tebow about it, and he said sometimes we'll make it look like a run option, but it won't be. It'll be a give 100%. You see there the ball handling. That ball's out of there. It gets tripped by the back. You see the two Chiefs watching Tebow closely before they pursue the ball down inside.
2nd and 7 after the pickup of 3. Up the middle, they give it to the fullback Larson, and he hits a wall at the 21-yard line. Let's go back to New York for more on the Bills and the Cowboys.
Hey, Bill, Shannon Sharp's interview of Tony Romo must have gotten him hot. Oh, yeah, he is perfect on today. 11-11, 179 yards and 3 touchdowns. This throw to LaRon Robinson, 58 yards, 21-0 Dallas in the second quarter. Romo's 21st 3-touchdown game or more. That's a team record. Back to Bill and Steve.
That's a big game for the Cowboys at home as they try to move above 500 and keep contact with the Giants in the NFC East. 3rd down for Denver. Ball. And the Chiefs defense stiffens.
Well, they had to do something as the Broncos continue to just plow down the football field. The Chiefs have got to stop the run. They have not been able to so far in this game. Now it forces the field goal attempt by Denver. And like we said, in a game like this, 3 points is magnified.
Matt Prater, 8 of 12 in field goal tries this season. Where he has struggled has been from 40 to 49 yards, where he's missed 3 of 4 this season. This from 38 yards out. And he's got it. And that extends the Denver lead with 7:46 left to go in the half. 10-0 Broncos.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Kay Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with Kay.
Standing ovation here in Kansas City for our veterans who make so many sacrifices serving our nation. There's Tim Tebow. He's thrown 1 pass and had a 7-yard touchdown run. And Denver leads it 10-0. Javier Arenas back deep at the goal line, awaiting the kickoff from Matt Prater. He's had touchbacks coming in today on 30 of his 36 kickoffs.
And if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you're at the drawing board trying to figure out a way to stop the momentum of the Denver rushing attack. As you said, they've only attempted 1 pass, and Denver leads 10-0, and they have the number of the Kansas City offense right now. Matt Castle not being able to do anything.
Prater kicks it away. Arenas from 1 yard deep. And tripped up as he crosses the 25-yard line. Tomorrow on CBS, 5-0's turning up the heat. Hot case, hot cars on a hot new Hawaii 5-0. Tomorrow, only CBS. Dexter McCluster has checked in. The Chiefs trying to get their offense cranked up. They have not had an offensive touchdown in more than 100 plays from scrimmage. That's the longest active streak in the National Football League. They start from the 27-yard line. Castle over the middle. And that is caught by Leonard Pope, the big tight end. Pope, who spent time with Todd Haley in Arizona, 13 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown coming in.
Well, the Chiefs getting the ball out of Castle's hands. Just a quick drop back. Looked to his right first. Secondary receiver was Pope, and he gunned it into him. 6-yard gain. They're just trying to keep the chains moving to get some sort of rhythm offensively.
Jackie Battle is the deep back, and they give it to him. He has some running room. And a first down for Kansas City. Joe Mays made the stop. Battle finally getting a chance with Jamal Charles out. Came in as the Chiefs' leading rusher, 78 carries, 342 yards, and a touchdown. He can run between the tackles, but he has a nice burst when he gets in space.
Well, he's a big back, and we spoke to him on Friday. He said, I've been waiting so many years for this opportunity. You know he's hungry as he can be to play well for this Chiefs offense, and every opportunity he just treasures every time he gets to carry the football for this club.
1st and 10 for Kansas City. Again, they keep it on the ground. Battle to the 39-yard line. Tripped up by the defensive end, Robert Ayers, after a pickup of 1.
Castle trying to get this offense. You see Pope comes in, and Jake O'Donnell, tight end, comes out. Using a lot of different formations, a lot of different personnel sets, this Chiefs offense. Here you see 2 split wide receivers and a wingback as a tight end. Every formation under the sun they use to try and confuse the Denver defense.
2nd and 9. Arrowhead is quiet today. Incomplete. Intended for the rookie, Jonathan Baldwin. And that'll bring up 3rd and long.
And that was an inaccurate pass. Baldwin comes across, just see right at the bottom of your screen, right there. He's got to get up with both hands. It looked like the ball got there before he was prepared to catch it. And Dawkins comes in, slaps it away. It's well defended. Baldwin needs to get both hands on that. It looked as though he didn't think the football was going to come to him. Kind of made a half-hearted, one-handed attempt to catch it.
3rd and 9, and the Chiefs in desperate need of some first downs. Baldwin, the motion man. Castle checks it down. Breston, and he's going to be well short of a first down. Chris Harris made the tackle. The Chiefs are going to have to punt.
Yeah, Chris Harris, the rookie free agent out of the University of Kansas. In man-to-man coverage, stays with Preston, gets left behind for a minute, but makes up the ground and keeps him from getting the first down. Great job by Harris. You see the separation, but Harris refuses to give up. That's what you get out of a rookie free agent. A kid who just wants to be there. He has no give up, stays with it, and makes the play.
He had a huge game last week against the Raiders, 11 tackles and an interception. Juan Cosby feels it at the 7. And swarmed under at the 12-yard line. 5:11 left to go in the half. That was a 48-yard punt. We're back, a unique situation today with the Colquitt brothers punting against each other. Britton with the Broncos, Dustin with the Chiefs, both having terrific seasons. Britton is 3 years younger than Dustin, both kicked in college at Tennessee. So did their dad, Greg Colquitt, who of course won 2 Super Bowl rings punting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Spent 10 years in the National Football League, and not to play favorites, their mom, Ann, is wearing a split jersey with the Chiefs on one side and the Broncos on another. 1st and 10 for Denver. They lead it 10-0. Just over 5 minutes left to go in the half. Here's the read option. Toss it back to Ball. And the Chiefs are ready. Justin Houston made the tackle.
Yeah, we spoke to both of them after they had dinner. The families had dinner, of course, on Friday night. And it was funny. We said, okay, what's the bet? I mean, you got to have something going on, bragging. He said, no, nothing tangible, only bragging rights. And they're closely watching each other's statistics.
They're 2 great young guys. Ball left side, tripped up just short of the 20-yard line.
Just one last thing about those 2 guys who punt. They're the only 2 brothers in the league that can play catch without using their hands.
I've been waiting for that.
I love that line.
That's good. That's good.
But they also say, they cheer for each other because it's good that either of them can play well, and their brother can cheer for them and still hope that their team loses.
3rd and 7. Broncos trying to avoid bringing Britton Colquitt out. Option to Ball. And dives forward. Close to the first down. He's going to be a couple yards short.
Yeah, they didn't give him the extension of the football. I think he stepped out back at the 25-yard line. And you watch as Tebow comes out, he Does not give it to the fullback. Comes out, forces the defender right there, as you see. Forces Houston to watch Tebow and then leave the pitch for the defensive back to make the tackle.
Block in the back. Number 86 offense. That penalty's declined. Makes it 4th down.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're a receiver, you get kind of a mental clock about how long you can maintain your block out there. But with that option play, it takes a lot longer to develop. And you have to hold that block as a wide receiver longer. And the receiver got too desperate blocking the back.
They called it on Daniel Fells, the tight end. So here's Britton Colquitt standing back at his own 11-yard line. Javier Arenas is back deep for Kansas City. Arenas standing back at his own 29-yard line. Retreats to the 24. And brought down at about the 30-yard line. And coming up on the Sprint halftime report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from a busy Week 10. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
Well, the Chiefs defense finally got a handle on that Bronco running game. They got a 1, 2, 3 and out, and now they got a chance to let their offense find itself. 10 points down to a team that really has not thrown the football at all is not a very deep hole if you can get your offense going. But the Chiefs have to stay on the football field offensively. They've got to get an offensive drive going and get some points.
After the 51-yard punt and 5-yard return, Thomas Jones is the deep back for Kansas City. Castle on the play action. Going up top. And that, what a catch. What a grab by the rookie, Jonathan Baldwin. Caught it up against the back of the safety, Brian Dawkins.
You won't see a better catch than that the entire NFL season.
Wow.
We've seen some great ones. That is enormously difficult for a wide receiver to do. There's a penalty at the line of scrimmage. We'll have to see what is going to transpire, but that was an absolutely phenomenal catch by Jonathan Baldwin.
All the way back at the 30-yard line.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation. Offense number 15 covers the tight end. Pass interference. Defense number 20. By rules, those penalties offset. Repeat. 1st down.
Well, they may offset, but the team marching back to the original line of scrimmage, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, Brian Dawkins, there's no question he's face guarding. He doesn't play the football. And look at Jonathan Baldwin reach around his back, catch this on right between his numbers, pins it to his back, pulls him and the football down, and keeps the football off the ground. And it goes for nothing. It's not even a statistic.
Doesn't count, but absolutely tremendous. Castle on the delay, gives it to Jones. Jones out across the 30.
As a former wide receiver, that's a tragedy. That catch did not count. And I don't care, I don't have any care who wins this game, but I'd love to see that catch count. I mean, it's just too bad that young receiver does something like that and has nothing to show for it.
Big, strong, talented young guy playing in only his 4th NFL game. The Chiefs think he has a chance to be a big-time playmaker. Came in with 7 catches for 108 yards and a touchdown. Jones alone in the backfield. Castle, short drop. They run the slant, incomplete, intended for Bo, too high.
And we spoke to Todd Haley on Friday about his receiving core. He said Jonathan Baldwin, you look at the guy, 6'4", and has a 42-inch vertical jump. I mean, that's a guy that, you throw it in the zip code, he can reach out and get it.
Said he has a huge catching radius. And we didn't think it included behind the defender.
It extends through solid objects.
Now Kansas City facing 3rd and 6. Here they come on the blitz. Castle stands in. That got away from him. Receiver got tangled up with the defender. That was Leonard Pope. He went down, and so did DJ Williams.
And John Fox on the Denver sideline doesn't think that ball was catchable. That contact looked to be incidental. Looked like he got tangled up, but before Pope could actually make a play on the football, they got tangled up. He went down.
Pass interference. Defense number 55. Penalizes the spot of the foul and a first down.
Let's take a look. John Fox doesn't like that, and it's true. This is one of the most confusing things. You see it called. You see there, he's not playing the football. They get tangled up, and I don't know. I've seen plays like that where it was not called, but I thought that ball was catchable. And I think that's interference.
So just over 2 minutes remaining in the half. 1st and 10 for Kansas City. Desperate for points. Trailing 10-0. Keep it on the ground. McCluster spins his way out to the 45-yard line. DJ Williams made the tackle after a pickup of 2, and we reach the 2-minute warning.
A few minutes ago, the big catch by Baldwin was negated because the tight end is covered by Breston. Breston's on the line of scrimmage. He needed to line up off the line of scrimmage. That little formation malfunction was why the big play didn't count.
Chiefs have all of their timeouts and 2 minutes left in the half. 2nd and 8. And incomplete. In and out of the hands of Dwayne Bowe.
In the last few weeks, the Chiefs have dropped entirely too many passes. They've been at crucial times. This is a drop pass by Bowe right here. You got to catch that and get up the field, and that is frustrating as Matt Castle continues to struggle. His offense continues to sputter. One huge reason is because the receivers can't catch. You see Jonathan Baldwin make an enormous catch behind the back of the defender, and then they can't catch the easy passes that would mean first downs and sustained drives, and it's been a huge problem for the Chiefs.
So that will bring up 3rd and 8, and here they come. Blitz from Denver. Castle avoids the first wave, but dragged down from behind. And the Chiefs will have to punt. Ryan McBean finally made the tackle.
Well, Castle steps up in the pocket, but you'll see the pressure coming from the right side of your screen as he steps up, and then the pursuit inside as McBean didn't get any penetration at all, had the worst pass rush of the bunch, and ends up making the tackle for no gain.
And Castle came up limping a little bit. So 5 possessions for the Kansas City Chiefs and 5 punts. Dustin Colquitt standing back at his own 28-yard line.
And with the inability of Denver's team offense to throw the football, it's amazing that they lead this game. But yet, with field position and steady offensive plays and making first downs and time of possession, they do.
Cosby back at the 14-yard line. And makes the fair catch at the 16. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report, join JB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Some great early games around the National Football League. Bills and the Cowboys, the Steelers and the Bengals. That big game in the AFC North. Houston, Tampa Bay. So we'll see if the Broncos go to the air. Tebow keeps it. Tebow with some running room. And steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Brandon Flowers chased him out, and that stops the clock with 1:31 left to go in the half. A pickup of 19 yards.
Now, one of the big issues with this type of offense in the NFL is you put your quarterback at risk. You see Tebow hold this ball and carry it. Listen, when you're carrying the football in the NFL, you're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit hard. And the question is, how many can Tebow dodge, or how long can he stay durable enough to be in the offense of that nature?
Tebow will throw. Going deep, Royal, incomplete. Looking for a flag, won't get it. Brandon Flowers closed in a hurry.
And we talked to Tebow about that very thing, about this offense. If you can't throw the football, you see his ball flutters out there, and that's, he takes a lot of criticism. And that was not a badly thrown ball. I'll tell you what, it didn't look very pretty.
talking to John Fox about Tim Tebow, he said he's getting better every week. He's worked hard on his throwing mechanics. His game management has gotten better. He said Tim's a great competitor with his work ethic. A guy like that is always going to have a chance to get it done. Lance Ball tries to reverse his field and brought down at the 39-yard line by the strong safety, John McGraw.
Yeah, as you might imagine, we spoke to John Fox. Is there a flag on the field? We spoke to John Fox, and he has plenty to say about Tim Tebow because he's had only about 6 million conversations about the guy, and everybody wants to talk to him about him. But he said he's not a good competitor. He is a great competitor, and he works hard. He's a great guy to coach.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 59, defense.
Oh, goodness.
15-yard penalty.
Belcher.
First down.
That is not what the Kansas City Chiefs need.
Not with 1:17 to go on a play that was going to bring up a 4th down. But John Fox, talking about Tebow, it says, you know, we've got a chance to win games while this young quarterback develops as a passer, and not too many young quarterbacks can do that. A lot of teams just know they're going to take their lumps until their quarterback learns to read defenses and do things. This team believes they can win while he does that. That's unusual.
Tebow, and again he's going deep. He has Decker, tries to come back and get it, an incomplete. Eric Decker, the intended receiver. Kendall Lewis came over on defense at the last minute.
I'll tell you what, I like the play calls because they're giving Tebow a chance just to lay it out there and let his receivers make a play for him. Not the greatest of throws on this one he's made. And that's one where, you know, all of these throws, they have a chance to be completed. He has not made, and that's been the thing. You watch him play, and at times it's almost comical how inaccurate he is. But on other times, he'll lay it out there, and his guys can make a play.
Kendrick Lewis, in his second year out of Mississippi, they felt he was a steal in the 5th round last year. Talented young safety. Broncos keep it on the ground with Lance Ball down to the 43-yard line.
And one of the thoughts you see these Broncos are they've taken 3 shots on this drive down the football field. You don't have to read the defense when you're taking a deep shot. Let it fly. That's one of the things that you maximize what Tebow can do. He drops back with a play-action fake, gives himself plenty of time, gives him a chance to set his feet, use the right mechanics, and he's been more accurate with those throws. Even though they haven't completed them, he's given his guys at least a chance of doing it, and really all it takes is one.
35 seconds left. They spot it at the 42-yard line. Here's the option. They pitch it to Royal. Ball is loose, and it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs have it.
No, it's an incomplete pass.
And they're going to say it was a pass.
That comes from the quarterback. It's an incomplete pass. It's no risk. Tim Tebow, you'll watch as he throws this and the ball falls to the ground. He just walks away. He knows it. That's a shovel pass. He doesn't even attempt to recover it. He walks off. He knows it. Brings up a 4th down. It didn't work. Walk off and live to fight another day. It's a low risk. It's a forward pass. Therefore, it's no risk of a fumble.
And Tebow 0 for 4 in the passing game. 4th and 6. That brings on Britton Colquitt. Try to get this inside the 20. Takes a sideways bounce and is down at the 6-yard line.
Wow, a couple of great punts there.
16 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, and this is why with Tim Tebow and all the debate that's been around him, you shrug your shoulders and shake your head. He's 0 for 4 and leads by 10.
As we said at the top of the day, it's not conventional.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Somehow it seems to be working.
And their offense has really dominated it. Time of possession, no turnovers, and they've lost both their top running backs.
Well, we visited with Tim Tebow yesterday, such a likable young man, absolutely loves the game of football. He said, I just like being a football player. So give it to Jackie Battle. He said, if I could, at the end of practice, I'd go out and play 5-on-5. I just want to be out there. And he'll go to the locker room. His team up 10-0 at halftime. So we'll be back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
No one man should have
halftime in Kansas City, awaiting the start of the third quarter. 10-0 Broncos. Bill McAfee back with Steve Tasker. It's not often that you see a team leading in the NFL without completing a pass.
Well, that's right. Their running game is a thing of beauty in Denver. Their passing game may be the ugliest thing you've ever seen. So they've got both things working for them. But they're also another beautiful thing going for them. Their defense is playing lights out.
All right, let's take a look at our mobile recap presented by Verizon. The game's only touchdown, Tim Tebow's 7-yard run, set up by a block by Zane Beadles, the left guard. And that gave the Broncos the lead. They added a field goal. It is 10-0 as we start quarter number 3.
And to add to that, the Denver Broncos lost their top 2 running backs in the first quarter. And still, their ratio is 7 runs to every 1 pass that they throw. 28 passes, 28 runs, 4 passes in the first half. It's an amazing statistic, and yet they lead by 10.
Kansas City with only 72 total yards in the first half. Denver won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they'll have the football to start things.
Well, great defense covers a multitude of offensive sins.
Ryan Suckup ready to kick it off to Quan Cosby, who stands 5 yards deep in the end zone. And that is going to go out of the end zone for a touchback. Tim Tebow still has not completed a pass, 0 for 4. And let's look at the first half numbers.
Yeah, this is the one that first downs. The Broncos are staying on the football field. The time of possession's in their favor, and the yards, of course, go along with that. And the passing yards, 0.
And for their part, the Kansas City Chiefs are just desperate to get anything going. They were flat on offense. Could not get into the end zone last week against the Miami Dolphins. They've gone 125 offensive snaps without a touchdown. First and 10 for Denver from their own 20-yard line. Ball. That's good for 5 yards on first down.
And this offensive line of the Denver Broncos isn't getting enough credit. I mean, it goes from Clady, Beadles, Walton, Cooper, Franklin. They've got a very young offensive line, but they're very stable. All these guys start every week. They're getting to know each other. They're playing better and better as this season rolls on. And if they can keep them together and healthy, the sky's the limit for this running game.
And if you're just joining us, the Broncos have lost Willis McGahee and Noshawn Moreno. Both went to the locker room in the first half.
You look back, and this is what happened on the injuries. As you see, McGahee comes out and right there puts his left foot in the ground, and then Moreno gets piled up with about 15 guys and gets bent up the wrong way. He was carted off the field, and McGahee made his way off the field himself later on. McGahee's still in his uniform on the sidelines, but doesn't look like he's looking to get back in this game.
Clearly, Moreno has been upgraded now from doubtful to questionable. 3rd and short for Denver.
Well, it looks like they're going to give him the first down.
Spencer Larson, forward progress out across the 30, and that would be good enough for a first down.
And this is the killer. I mean, if you're the Chiefs, 3 straight runs, you're begging Tim Tebow to drop back and throw it, and the Broncos don't have to because they can get first downs, handing the football off. Everybody in their arsenal has carried it, and yet they still get first downs. The Chiefs have to know it's coming. They have to do everything they can to force Tebow to drop back, and they can't do it.
Brandon Carr, who was injured in the first half, is back in the ball game. Ball to the 32-yard line. Glenn Dorsey, the defensive end, made the tackle.
Yeah, that was a great play by Dorsey. Shrugged the block off, came across the formation, and dragged the running back down from behind in traffic.
Dorsey, the 5th player taken overall in the 2008 draft out of LSU. So 2nd and 9 for Denver, just underway here in the second half. Tebow. Incomplete. Lance Ball was the intended receiver, and he's 0 for 5.
Tried to fit it in and cut the field in half. Let Tebow run a play action pass. The fake reverse cross. Look for one of the receivers. Tries to fit in the ball. Good throw, but right there you see great job by Kendrick Lewis getting his hand right on the football, knocking it away. That's the kind of defense the Chiefs are going to have to do to get the football back to their offense.
So 3rd and 9 for most teams, an obvious passing situation. What will the Broncos do? Option. And that is going to be well short of the first down. Derek Johnson made the stop after a pickup of 2, so we'll see the Denver punting unit.
And that was a play where the end man on the line of scrimmage was blocked by the left tackle, and Tebow read the end guy, and he was blocked. The inside linebacker came in and actually made the tackle. They took the choice Tebow was looking for away by stunting the linebacker in to make the tackle. That's a great way to defend the option.
Derek Johnson, who's having a tremendous year, made the stop. Javier Arenas from the 19-yard line, trying to get to the outside. And a tough physical return finally brought down at the 31-yard line by Nate Irving after an 11-yard return. Thursday on CBS, a Cold War spy returns for revenge. Don't miss the new hit drama, Person of Interest. Thursday, only CBS. So Kansas City set to go, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. There was a 5-yard penalty tacked on. It's been a rough go so far from Matt Castle.
Yeah, you see here that the shots he's taken in the first half, you go in and after a half like we're seeing him go through here with all the sacks and all the hits, all the scurrying around in the pocket trying to make something out of nothing. You go in at halftime and try and get it together, make some adjustments, and we'll see this series probably a different type of offense from Kansas City after they've had a half to look at this Denver defense.
4 of 9 for only 29 yards. Big hole on the left side for Battle. Jackie Battle. Down to the 30-yard line before he was finally pushed out of bounds by the rookie Von Miller. A pickup of 36 yards.
Well, Jackie Battle, watch the left side of the line as Jackie Battle takes this pat, and it's obvious, I just said it, you make some adjustments, you see what kind of front they're in, and you bring a play out of your playbook to get it done. There you see him picking the turf out of his face mask, Jackie Battle. Great run, a great play off first down.
Play action to Thomas Jones. Castle just had to get rid of it, incomplete. Bo was in the area, but it was thrown well behind him.
You know, at halftime, they saw some things in this Denver defensive front that they wanted to take advantage of, but one thing that they got to do better at is picking up the pressure that the Broncos are bringing.
And again, it was the rookie Von Miller in the face of Matt Castle.
51.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. 10-0 Broncos. The delay to McCluster. Cuts it back, a nice move, and down. The ball is loose down close to the 20-yard line. A scramble for it near the 10.
The Broncos look like they've got it.
Broncos say they have it, but was he down?
The officials let the play out, so they treated it as if it was a fumble. And the Denver Broncos recovered.
And Robert Ayers, the left defensive end, and came away with the football, but let's see if McCluster's knee was down.
And the crowd seems to think it is as we see the replay. The ball, he's still got it, and his knee's down right there, and the ball is still in. That's not a fumble. There, the ball pops out late. Yeah, I think this is going to be overturned on review. There, he's down, still has the ball. Yeah, that's not a fumble to me.
Broderick Bunkley, the nose tackle, ripped it out. But his knee apparently was already down.
Challenge ruling on the field of a fumble.
Todd Haley will challenge. They'll take a look. 10:48 left to go in the third.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Ford. Drive one.
Back in Kansas City, still awaiting the result of the challenge, although we've looked at the replay and there doesn't seem to be any doubt that his knee was down before the ball came out.
Right, he's got the ball going down, and the thing that the officials let this play out, but there his knee's down, and he still has the ball tucked up under high and tight on his chest, and really the ball bounces out after he hits the ground anyway. And I think the reason this is being delayed so long is they have to get the clock right and the spot right to give the ball back to the Chiefs after this run. It was a nice run by McCluster.
Here's Ron Winter.
After review, with the ball in his possession, the runner's left knee touched the ground. Therefore, he is down by contact. Kansas City ball. First down. Kansas City is not charged with a team timeout.
And that is a huge reversal for the Kansas City Chiefs, who have not had much on offense today.
Well, this first series of the second half has been their best of the game by far.
And that was good enough for a first down as well. So it moves the chains. 1st and 10 from the Denver 21-yard line. Pickup of 11 yards by McCluster. Thomas Jones has checked in. 10-0 Denver. 10:44 left to go in the third. Jones. Gang tackle for a loss. Marcus Thomas was the first one there.
Well, great penetration there by Thomas. I mean, he just would not leave the line of scrimmage, knifed his way through, and Thomas Jones took the handoff and looked right up and saw big 79 standing right there. There's nowhere to run.
Thomas Jones over 10,000 yards in his career, joining LaDainian Tomlinson as the NFL's only active players to achieve that milestone. 2nd and 11 for Kansas City. Battle is back in the game. Castle straight back. They bring extra pressure. That's caught by Breston. Breston has been quiet today. Inside the 20, close to this 18-yard line. Quentin Carter, the free safety who started today, made the stop.
As this play takes place, Breston goes across, didn't have anybody in the secondary for the Chiefs. Everybody was within 5 or 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Nobody forced them to cover the back of the end zone. Castle had no options except to throw the ball short of the first down, hoping somebody would break a tackle and get it.
Denver secondary has done a great job so far. Bailey, Goodman, Dawkins, and Carter. Castle on 3rd down. McCluster was wide open and is inside the 10, down close to the 5. A gain of 14 yards. It'll be 1st and goal for Kansas City.
Well, this is a great read by Castle. He throws the football right out. It's a great McCluster gathers it in, got the separation there, being guarded by Williams.
DJ Williams fell down.
He just fell down, and Castle sees it and delivers the football right on time.
118. 55.
1st and goal from the 5 for Kansas City. They trail 10-0. Castle. McCluster tries to extend, but gets it down to the 1. Goodman brought him down.
Well, I saw him run this play on Saturday. Watches McCluster, motions in. He's going to come right back to the sideline. So many times defenders lose their discipline as the guy comes in motion towards the ball. They think he's going to continue or make a block or head upfield. McCluster puts his foot in the ground, breaks right to the pylon. Well defended, but they did gain some yards on it.
2nd and goal from the 1. Battle. Oh, Castle kept it, touchdown. LaRon McClain all alone in the end zone after a terrific fake.
Well, you said it. Watch as he looks like he does, and look at the casual nature. He hands it to him, stands up and watches the running back jump over the end zone with the ball on his hip. Look at Castle. Then he snaps it up and throws it, and McClain is all by himself. Tremendous ball handling by Castle.
Succop on to try the extra point. And he's got it. 133 plays without a touchdown for Kansas City, and that streak mercifully comes to an end. It's a 3-point game. Chiefs get it into the end zone, and that woke up the crowd here at Arrowhead, usually one of the loudest places in the National Football League. Ryan Succop ready to kick it off. 10-7 Denver. 8:10 left to go in the third. Driving kick out of the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20.
And you look back at the touchdown pass from Castle to McClain. Watch as McClain's right here being guarded, and watch how they just get lost in the traffic. Goes down. The ball handling draws Williams right into the pile, and the guy he was guarding ends up catching it in the back of the end zone.
Playing the big, powerful fullback who has great hands and can catch the ball. Came over as a free agent for the Ravens. Big play for the Chiefs. Denver keeps it on the ground at first down. Out to the 23-yard line goes Lance Ball. 16 carries, 58 yards for Ball.
And now things change a little bit in the desperation point. Now the pressure's back on the Denver offense. The last team won without completing a pass. 1974. Joe Ferguson with the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. And also incidentally in that game, not that I was there, but Joe Namath was 2 for 18 in that game. I'm thinking there was a weather factor.
Tebow 0 for 5. He keeps it on the ground. Out to the 27-yard line. Dorsey tripped him up.
It brings up a third and about 4. And sooner or later, the Broncos are going to be forced to throw this football. But it's up to the Chiefs defense to put him in that position.
And the crowd is getting louder and louder. They certainly have been brought back into this game. 3rd and 3 for the Broncos. Fouls in motion. Ball slips at the line of scrimmage. Broncos will punt. Tyson Jackson had great penetration, the 3rd overall pick in the 09 draft, with a big stop there.
Yeah, the Chiefs are daring the Broncos to run it, and wow, what a great crashing play by Jackson.
And Ryan Clady
left tackle
is still down. First-round pick in 2008 in his 4th year out of Boise State. He has started every game since coming into the league.
This is 57th consecutive start. And he is indicative of that entire young offensive line. A lot of these guys have been in there and stayed in there ever since they're even Orlando Franklin on the other side, the right tackle, a starter from week 1 of this year, his rookie season. He's been in there for every snap, just like Clady. Stability is an underrated commodity in the NFL. Having those 5 guys up there, young as they are, is a great way to get improvement, and it permeates your entire organization.
Cool. Britton Colquitt on to punt on 4th and 4. Standing back at his own 10-yard line. Javier Arenas, once again, the deep man for Kansas City. Back at the Chiefs' 21. Another good punt. This is a boomer. Back to the 14, Arenas. It's the first man miss, trying to get to the wall, and turns it back inside and swarmed under at the 27-yard line. 6:19 left to go in the third. That was a 60-yard punt and a 13-yard return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by E-Trade. And by the Droid Razor. Thin is no longer frail, only at Verizon.
Kansas City 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. The 2 brothers, Britton and Dustin, their numbers today, both having very good days. Toss it back to Battle. Stood up at the 30-yard line. Will stay in the game all season long with the NFL's new selection of mobile apps. Get unparalleled access to stats, fantasy news, video, and more. Go to NFL.com/mobile today.
And as badly as things have gone for the Kansas City offense today, as you see here now, Jackie Battle stays down on the field. He got hurt on that last carry. He started to walk off, and he went down and stayed down.
All right, so a timeout on the field. Let's check in once again with JB in New York and the latest on the Steelers and the Bengals.
Cincy chipping away, Dan. Oh, yeah, the young quarterback, Andy Dalton, on a 1-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Gresham. His Andy Dalton's second touchdown on the day, tied 17-17. Cincy was down 14-0 prior to that reception by Gresham. Back to Bill McAtee. Steve Tasker.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Andy Dalton, certainly a candidate for Rookie of the Year. He has played remarkably well in his first season out of TCU, and Jackie Battle finally gets up, makes his way to the sideline. Let's take another look.
Well, it was the last hit. He gets turned around, watch and listen.
That was the shot that came in from the side after he was stood up. So tough day to be a running back here at Arrowhead. Second and a short 7 for Kansas City. They trail by 3. Thomas Jones alone in the backfield. Jones brought down at the 32-yard line by Broderick Bunkley. Bunkley came over to trade with the Eagles. John Fox has been happy with his play, anchoring that defensive line at nose tackle.
A great job on first and second down by the Broncos. Well, this Chiefs offense looking much more effective, at least in their first drive of the second half, than they did all the first half. The adjustments at halftime are always the crucial element to these second half teams, and the Chiefs try to get it together.
Able to take advantage of the challenge and the reverse call on the fumble by McCluster that was not a fumble. Lofts it out. Incomplete. McCluster, the intended receiver, tried to extend, couldn't make the catch, and the Chiefs will have to punt.
Yeah. McCluster gets his hands on it, but he lays completely out, and it just, the impact of the ground causes him to lose control of it. Just a little too far from Castle. Castle thought he had it, and no.
And look out, Eddie Royal, the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, is out there set to return. He had an 85-yard punt return last week in the fourth quarter in the comeback against the Raiders. Royal retreats and lets it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. A 67-yard punt. The Broncos with 188 yards rushing today. They had almost 300 yards on the ground last week against the Raiders. Their best performance running the football in more than 10 years. The third highest total in franchise history. And again, they keep it on the ground. Lance Ball once again out to the 22-yard line.
Well, it's been all about the running game for Denver. And look at the versatility here. You see, there's Lance Ball. Carries a couple times, then Tebow carries it. The versatility, they've had 6 different runners with the football today. And you said it, 98 of their 189 rushes been from that read option play. And you see John Fox, McGahee, and Moreno out of the game, still continuing to pound that running game.
19 carries for Ball, 62 yards. And there's the completion. Matthew Willis. And he has a Denver first down. Kendrick Lewis, the free safety, made the stop after a gain of 12.
Well, we get a chance to see if this is going to make a difference for the Chiefs defense. Now that the Broncos have thrown it and completed it, do they start to think about it a little more? But I think, you know, that's a nice completion for a first down, but you're still deep in the third quarter. You got a lot of football to play. You're going to have to go back to that well at least once.
Back to the ground, Lance Ball. In his third year out of Maryland. Gain of 3.
It's amazing. You know, the Chiefs have taken this long to force Denver into throwing the football. They couldn't get it done in the first half. And, of course, when the Denver Broncos got that 10-point lead, they had no interest in trying to throw the football. They tried a couple of shots down the field that were pretty ugly. But nevertheless, the Chiefs and Romeo Crennel there, you see their defensive coordinator having a hard time forcing Tebow to drop back.
From the shotgun, Tebow keeps it with running room. And upended across the 45, close to the 48-yard line by Lewis, the safety. Pickup of 11.
And that's all Tebow. I mean, watch this. He's going to see the ball go, and he sees big Glenn Dorsey go across with the running back to try and make that tackle. He just hangs on to it and goes right where Dorsey vacated, right up the middle of the football field.
Tebow now 5 carries, 37 yards, and Denver's only touchdown. And he's going to try to throw it on the move. Tucks it in and falls forward into Kansas City territory. Richard Langford, safety, made the stop after a gain of 5.
Yeah, and his receivers didn't do much to help him. Once this play action, it wasn't right there right away, and he breaks contain. His receivers acted like they didn't know what to do. They kind of just stood there, and he had nobody to get it to. Great play, getting a 5-yard gain out of that broken play. That's what a mobile quarterback can do, but it's not the way that play was designed.
Into Kansas City territory. He's not playing the position the way it was designed. Here's the option. Chiefs are ready. Derek Johnson with them every step of the way.
I don't know. I think Tebow would have been better off giving that one to the outside, pitching it on out. And for a team that runs the ball a lot, they're running it even more today. 41 attempts.
So 3rd and 4, and we hear from the crowd here at Arrowhead. They have to get to the 43-yard line for a first down. Tebow will throw, and that was a bad pass.
Yeah, that was a bad throw. He threw that right into the ground. It looked as though he started to throw it and then decided he didn't want to throw. He threw this right into the ground. This had absolutely no shot. And it was just ugly. He had a cluster formation to his right and just didn't want to release it. Put it right into the ground.
So a duel of the punting brothers continues. Witten Colquitt standing back at his own 38-yard line, about to punt it away to Javier Arenas. Gets that one away. And Arenas is going to let it bounce. And it bounces back, and it's going to be down inside the 10-yard line. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, congressional approval ratings are at an all-time low and are likely to sink even further when Americans hear what 60 Minutes has uncovered. Tonight, only CBS. 37-yard punt. They spotted just short of the 10-yard line. That's where the Chiefs will go to work, down by 3. 35 seconds left to play in the 3rd.
51.
Jackie Battle is back in the game. He's the deep back.
55.
Battle, right side. Turns the corner and fights his way to the 14-yard line. Joe Mays, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
It's going to take us probably to the end of the 3rd quarter, as the Chiefs getting to the edge there on the Bronco defense.
So that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. Denver leads it by 3, and we'll return to Kansas City after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. A spectacular November day here in Kansas City. Red in the stadium, blue skies above. 2nd and 6 for Kansas City. Castle gets rid of it. That's Pope, the tight end, and he's got a first down. And Castle slow getting up.
Castle taking a lot of hits today. The play action, he comes to roll out, and Von Miller does not bite on the play action. We saw that a lot last week in Von Miller's game against Carson Palmer and the Raiders. He got a lot of shots on Palmer, and today's no different. Matt Castle knows he's got to get rid of the football or he's going to go down.
That was good for 7 yards and a first down. Battle has a seam and takes it out to the 24-yard line. The Broncos picked Von Miller, number 2 overall, in part because of John Elway. He said that as a quarterback, there was nothing more disruptive to an offense than a player who's fast and strong coming in off the edge. He said that Von Miller reminded him a lot of the late Kansas City Chief Derek Thomas, the Hall of Famer, who used to drive John crazy. In fact, Miller is wearing 58 in part as a tribute to Derek Thomas. 2nd and 7 for Kansas City. Chiefs trail by 3. Castle. Baldwin. The big rookie rumbles forward close to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 15 yards, and finally Quentin Carter brought him down.
Well, the Chiefs, because they're running it a little better this half, are having a little bit more success throwing it as well. See there, you said it. Baldwin catching that, just coming out, just turning around. It's an easy throw, a great high percentage pass, exactly what the Chiefs need in a game like this.
Moves the chains, 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 39. Castle steps up, he's going up top. Ball hangs in the air, and that is almost intercepted. Baldwin was the intended receiver, and Dawkins tried to make the catch, but incomplete.
It looked like Dawkins had no excuse not to catch that one. He had it both hands on it, had time to tuck it away, and just couldn't find a handle. Watch. Baldwin sees it, knows it's going to get picked off.
Baldwin's kind of the defensive back.
Baldwin does a nice job of getting his hand in from behind over the top to knock it loose. Castle, he looks a little disgusted when he sees that on film.
Yeah, he'll be a lot happier.
Yeah, he'll thank Baldwin for knocking that one loose, because that was a pick.
Cluster has checked in the game. 2nd and 10 for Kansas City. To the sideline. That's caught by Bow.
Yeah, and that, I don't think that was a drawn play. Castle let that one go. Bow turned around, and that was from the left hash all the way to the right sidelines. Bow fell down, had time to get up and catch the football. Watch as he comes out, ball's in the air, and then he has to come back and get it. Like he didn't think the ball was going to come to him, particularly working one-on-one with Champ Bailey. Usually a quarterback's a little bit reticent to throw it over there, but Castle made the play.
Only the 2nd catch of the day for Bow. That was good for 7 yards. 3rd and 3 for Kansas City. Bow. Incomplete. And here comes the punting unit.
And Bow is upset. I don't know whether he's upset because he thought he was interfered with or because he should have caught it. Well, he should have caught it. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's okay. I don't see any interference.
Champ Bailey had the coverage. No flag. 4th and 3.
Well, it's turning. I'm sorry, Bill. It turned into a punt fest here in the 2nd half.
Justin Colquitt. And that goes in to the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20. A 54-yard punt. 10-7. Broncos take over with 12:05 left to play, leading 10-7 from their own 20-yard line. Denver has completed 1 pass in the entire game, but they still lead by 3. Another great job running the football today against this Kansas City defense.
Well, still the strategy for the Broncos is to make first downs. You've got a 3-point lead. Your defense is playing very well, but you've got to do enough to stay on the football field and shorten this 4th quarter so that Kansas City can't get the football back. It's a field position. If you're going to win this game, you've got to make sure that if you're going to give the ball back to Kansas City, you do it inside their 10-yard line.
Broncos without Willis McGahee and Noshawn Moreno. Lance Ball has gotten 21 carries for 69 yards. Up the middle to the 27-yard line.
There once again we see it. The Broncos, 2 really solid runs on 1st and 2nd down. Brings up a 3rd and very short, at least a 3rd and 2, which is manageable. Tebow making the right decision. Just give the ball up inside, get what you can get, and put the pressure back on the defense on 3rd and 2.
4-yard gain for Ball. That gets him over 70 yards. 3rd and 2. In the backfield, and they give it to him, and he's got a 1st down. Now to the 32-yard line.
There it is, 3 straight runs. We've seen it all day. 3 straight runs and a 1st down for the Broncos. John Fox, he told us yesterday, he says, ideally, we'd like 30 runs and 20 passes if we have 50 plays. Well, they're a little skewed in that ratio right now.
They've thrown the ball 7 times. They've run it 44 times. 1st and 10. Ball. Big hole up the middle. Out to the 40-yard line. Rashard Langford made the stop, and this Denver offensive line continues to do an outstanding job. That was good for 8 yards.
Yeah, it's time to give those guys a shout-out. We've spoken about them, how they're the 2nd youngest offensive line in the league. And yet today, really doing an excellent job up front. Watch as they push back. You see, look down, get to the 2nd. Chris Cooper goes down, works up to the 2nd level, and ends up pushing the pile 8 yards down the field. Great job up front.
9.5 minutes remaining. 2nd and 2 for the Broncos. Ball. And another nice pickup. To the 44-yard line. Belcher made the stop, a gain of 4.
Well, Lance Ball filling in for Willis McGahee and Noshawn Moreno. McGahee there on the sidelines. Both the top running backs out of the game early. And now Lance Ball, Spencer Larson, trying to get it done themselves.
Having a career day, and he will go to the sidelines after 5 straight carries. Spencer Larson, the fullback, is alone in the backfield, and they give it to Larson. Tries to move the pile out to the 47-yard line.
This offensive line, as you see there, they unpile Chris Clark, who is now in the game at left tackle for Ryan Clady. Clady stayed down on the field, hasn't returned. Chris Clark playing left tackle, doing a nice job actually pulling Spencer Larson at the end of that play, trying to get that extra few inches. And believe me, every inch counts in this game.
Lance Ball, after getting a moment to catch his breath, has come back in as Tebow operates from the shotgun. Royal trying to get to the edge, cuts it back, and he's brought down short of midfield. Everybody stayed home. Rashard Langford made the stop.
Yeah, when you get these teams running wide, the thing the Chiefs want to do is run it to the sideline, get him all the way out, let him run to the sideline, because he's not going to gain any yards doing that, and that gives the Chiefs a chance to pursue from the inside. Once he sticks his foot in the ground and tries to cut, then you tackle him. Great job.
That's an NFL season high. 48 rushes. By the way, Brandon Flowers helped on the stop. A talented young corner for the Chiefs. So 3rd and 6 for Denver. They have to get to the Kansas City 46-yard line for a 1st down. Tebow.
Well, I don't think
Whistle
they got set.
before the snap.
Delay game.
Delay game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Didn't get it off in time.
You know, and to me, that's the first false move the Denver coaching staff has made. Tebow makes the identification and then just doesn't get it on. Oh, man, that, I don't know. That was tight.
They usually give you a little
Well,
bit
they
of a
say you get from the time the field judge looks at the clock and goes 0, looks down to see if the ball is snapped. That's how much time you get. That looks simultaneous.
Game relatively penalty-free. That was only the 4th penalty of the day on the Denver Broncos. Kansas City has had just 3. So 3rd and long. Tebow for Decker. He's got it! Touchdown, Denver! My goodness!
Just when you think he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, he lays this in absolutely dead solid, perfect. Watch Decker. He's going to get double covered. Starts with Brandon Flowers. The safety comes over, and Langford can't get there. Tebow, little pump fake, lays it out, and that is by far his best throw of the game.
And we have flags during the extra point attempt. Only the 2nd completion of the day for Tebow. But he's run for 1 touchdown and now thrown for another. 56 yards to Eric Decker. 7th touchdown catch of the year for Decker.
He's even getting a hug there from Mike McCoy.
Number 87, unsportsmanlike conduct, went to the ground in excessive demonstration. That penalty will be administered on the kickoff.
Excessive celebrating. But I don't think Eric Decker cares much. Matt Castle has a lot of work to do. Decker in his 2nd year out of Minnesota, 3rd-round pick last year, and has really stepped it up this year to become a force in the National Football League. Prater on to try the extra point. He's got it. And it's a 10-point ball game with 6:43 left to play. 56 yards. Tebow to Decker. Wow.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by TD Ameritrade. State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking. Get to a better state. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Tim Tebow, after the longest pass of his career, touchdown or otherwise, 56 yards. And that extends Denver's lead to 17-7. Eric Decker with his 7th touchdown reception of the year. 8 plays, 80 yards. Mr. Fourth Quarter does it again.
And it couldn't have come at a better time. Kansas City's been in it since the 2nd half. They had a 3-point lead. And Denver did exactly what they needed to do. Grind out some yards, take time off the clock, and then hit for the big play touchdown to give them a 10-point lead in a game that has been just scoring at a snail's pace.
They kick it from the 20 after the penalty for excessive celebrating. The kickoff is bobbled by Arenas, trying to get to the edge. Now we have a flag down, and Arenas is down short of the 30-yard line.
During the return, holding, number 85 return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
They call it on Jake O'Connell, the tight end. Long field after the Denver touchdown for Kansas City. 2-possession game for Todd Haley and the Chiefs. 6:37 left to play. Keep it on the ground with McCluster. Gets out close to the 20-yard line. DJ Williams made the stop after a pickup of 7.
Yeah, now things are much different for the Chiefs than it was just a possession ago. That big touchdown leads them to go into the no huddle. 6:18 remaining. They've got to get 2 possessions and score touchdowns.
Castle from the shotgun. Under pressure, gets rid of it, incomplete. The Broncos were charging in hard.
Castle is once again gets knocked around as pressure off the corner. is really whacked by Chris Harris. And, of course, Von Miller once again. I tell you what, Von Miller, he hasn't gotten a ton of sacks, but quarterbacks are going to put him on their most hated list.
And they're going to know where he is. 3rd and 3. Baldwin in motion, crucial down here. Has a man deep. Incomplete. Breston had a couple of steps, and we have a flag. Andre Goodman had the coverage.
And this is going to be illegal hands to the face, it looks like. This was before the pass came down at the other end. It was at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 21. A 5-yard penalty and a first down.
And they call it on Goodman.
Yeah, it's from the line of scrimmage, so it'll just give him the first down at about the 24. But watch, right at the release, and he catches him right there. And that's a pretty soft call right there. It's a bad throw by Castle. He needed to put this ball out in front of him. Yeah, that's not a penalty. And this ball needs, you can see where the ball needed to be thrown. Castle threw it to the outside. If that's a better throw, that Breston had a chance to get to the touchdown with that.
55.
Trying to get Breston set.
51.
McCluster is alone in the backfield. 1st and 10. Just over 6 minutes left. Nice hole on the left side for McCluster. Lowers his shoulder.
Penalty.
And a flag is down.
Yeah, DJ Williams twisted McCluster's head as he tackled him. He's going to tack on some more. The Denver Broncos losing a little bit of discipline, although that first touch.
Personal foul. Dressing the face mask. Defense number 55. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
The penalty, the illegal hands to the face, I didn't agree with. This one you'll watch as Williams grabs him, and watch this as he grabs his face mask and starting to pull and tug, and that's all it takes. That's a penalty.
And they move it all the way to the 49-yard line, close to midfield.
And one of the reasons that happens is Denver's been playing so desperate because they didn't have a lead for the whole game. Now they got a big 10-point lead like they did in the first half. It feels good to them with only 5.5 minutes to go.
Castle to Baldwin. Just threw it up there and wanted the rookie to come down with it. Incomplete. Quentin Carter and Andre Goodman had double coverage on the play.
This is well covered as you see Goodman keeping his cushion. You see how big Baldwin is compared to those two guys. He goes up, has a chance for it, but great job by Carter coming in, keeping his grip on it. It was kind of a tug of war for a moment, and both guys lost.
Castle trying to take advantage of that 42-inch vertical leap
55.
by the 6'4" rookie. 2nd and 10 for Kansas City. Down 2 scores. Castle underneath the Pope. Moving tight end. Gets it close to the 45-yard line. Harris made the stop.
I think one of the things that's plagued this Chiefs offense is their inability to be consistent when they go anything further than 5 yards. You got guys dropping balls. You got guys not being able to get separated. And Matt Castle not being able to make accurate enough throws. They've got to do a better job in that if they're going to win games.
Castle, center of the field, incomplete. There are a couple of receivers in the same area. Breston as well as the rookie Baldwin. Incomplete and no flags.
You see here, that's... the receiver goes down because it looked like he got tied up with Chris Harris, who was undercutting that route. And I think this is 4-down territory. No question the Chiefs are going to stay with it and go for it. And I agree with it. Your two possessions with 5 minutes to go. You've got to get this first down.
55, 58.
They have to get it to the 41-yard line for a first down. Here they come on the blitz. Castle. Incomplete. Hit as he released the ball by Elvis Dumerville, and it will go over on downs. Castle has been under pressure all game long. The Broncos will take over when we come back to Kansas City.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. Switch now and get a whole home DVR upgrade for free. And by Subway. So many $5 footlong favorites available every day.
3-4.
Denver takes over on downs. And a loss on first down. Good penetration by Brandon Flowers. And Tim Tebow. Games with a rushing and passing touchdown since the start of the 2010 season. He's right there with Michael Vick and ahead of Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton.
As you watch these Broncos today, there are so many things that you can't criticize about. And they can't throw the football. They hit the pass down the sideline. And you look at the package as we look at the passes he's thrown today. There's no question there's room for improvement. This ball flutters out there. It's off target. This ball is into the ground. And then this one drops in perfect and gives them a 10-point lead late in the game. And say what you want to, the NFL is about one thing, winning. It's not about stats. It's not about looking good. It's about winning.
2 completions, 1 touchdown. Lance Ball has stepped in nicely. Across midfield into Kansas City territory. Kendrick Lewis made the stop after a pickup of 9 yards.
The Broncos, as we see a Chief down on the ground here, the Broncos were 1-4, and Tim Tebow took over. And if they hang on here, they're 3-1 with Tim Tebow.
And this performance will not, as Glenn Dorsey is down, this performance will not really answer any questions. He will remain an enigma wrapped in a riddle. The quarterback position.
And, you know, yeah, his detractors shrug their shoulders and shake their head, but Denver looks like they could win today again.
4:45 left to play. Glenn Dorsey still being treated on the field.
In today's game, Denver Broncos have 50 rushing plays and have averaged 4.9 yards per rush.
299 last week against the Raiders. 243 today. Throwing the ball only 8 times. Dorsey is up, but he will have to be helped off the field.
You think about, we talked about it in the open of this game, what this game meant to both these teams as far as the standings go. You see there, Kansas City 4-4, Denver 3-5. If this game ends as it stands now, they'll have identical records along with San Diego.
Oakland winning on Thursday night to move to 5-4. So the good news for Kansas City is that they're still close. Dorsey walking slowly off the field. The Chiefs have an absolutely brutal schedule going forward. Their next 5 games are with New England, Pittsburgh, the Bears, the Jets, and Green Bay before finishing up at home here against Oakland, then on the road at Denver. But this is going to be tough sledding for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Every team except this team here, Denver, has a winning schedule, a winning record. And that is a gauntlet for the second half for these Chiefs.
Dorsey helped off the field. 3rd and 4 for Denver. 4.5 minutes left to play.
What do we got here? 4 down?
17-7 Broncos. And play stopped with a timeout by Denver.
Timeout. Denver. This is a 30-second timeout.
Now coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights from Week 10. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Let's take a look at the schedule going forward for the Denver Broncos, who will move to 4-5. Play the Jets on Thursday night, and then at San Diego, at the Vikings, then the Bears, Patriots, at Buffalo on Christmas Eve, and then they finish up at home against Kansas City.
A very short week here coming up against the New York Jets. John Fox knows that's going to be a really good defensive team that they face in New York.
Matt Castle, tough day, 12 of 25 for just 85 yards. Had a lot of drops today. Power I formation for Denver. They give it to Ball. And he'll be stopped short of the first down at the 46-yard line by Tyson Jackson. Chiefs will take a timeout. 4:15 left to play, and Tuesday, a cop who remembers everything will turn to her family to solve a mystery you'll never forget. Mary Lou Henner guest stars on TV's #1 news show, Unforgettable. Tuesday, only CBS.
Well, the Chiefs are going to get it back here with, they took a timeout in 4:15. They're still 2 scores down. And everything is 4-down territory. Everything will be hurry up. Everything will be about stopping the clock and getting yards and moving the chains. But they've got to get production out of this drive, or it will be over.
Britton Colquitt on for his turn in this punting derby between the brothers. Javier Arenas standing back at his own 10-yard line. They have the block on.
And they'll take a delay of game penalty.
They're going to move it back.
Unless the Chiefs decide to decline that penalty, which they could. Sometimes a punter will request, say, hey, listen.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
The punter will actually request him and say, give me a little more room so I can get inside the 10. It's just too hard to punt it that softly and keep it from getting into the end zone. So ask for a 5-yard delay game penalty to give him more room to drop it inside the 20-yard line.
They move him back 5 yards, but Javier Arenas didn't move. Stays at the 10-yard line. Calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 14. A little bit of a tussle after the whistle, a 37-yard punt. Clock stops with 4:09 left. 10-point Denver lead.
Well, this is where you really come together as an offense. You've got to step in the huddle. Your quarterback has to take command, and really you're going to have to start calling plays at the line of scrimmage. I mean, if we see the Chiefs huddle up in this drive, I'll be shocked. And this is all about Matt Castle and his wide receivers right now.
118.
A cluster in the backfield. Baldwin, the motion man. Castle to Baldwin, and another drop.
That is the problem. I'm going to say the problem. It's one of the problems. But for me, that is the problem with this Chiefs offense. You can't imagine how much that takes away from your team when you just can't catch the football. And these guys for the last few weeks have dropped way too many balls. For today, they had as many last week.
It'll be 1 touchdown in their last 2 games. That's caught by Breston. Now close to the 23-yard line, but short of a first down.
And the Chiefs have got to hustle back, and this is where you've got to hurry up and get lined up, and the quarterback's got to make sure he calls formations quickly so his receivers know where to run to get lined up.
3rd and 2 for the Chiefs. Castle got rid of it, incomplete.
And he got hit hard again. Now he's hurt.
Bow is the intended receiver. That'll bring up 4th and 2.
And his throwing hand as well. Watch as he releases this. Von Miller once again is going to come in from behind. And it looks like I don't know how he hit his hand, but Von Miller.
I think Matt Castle has seen just enough of Von Miller. Far too much.
58-55.
So 4th down for Kansas City. Under pressure, and down he goes.
And that's it.
And an inglorious way to end that series. Mays and Dumerville combined for the sack.
The Broncos rushed 5 guys, and they got home in a big hurry. That's been the story of the day. Not only the running game of the Broncos, but the pass rush of the Broncos.
This has just been an ugly day on offense for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Their offensive line has had no answer for the speed outside of Elvis Dumerville and Von Miller for the Broncos. We spoke to Dumerville yesterday. He said in 2 years he has never felt physically as good as he does at this point now, and he said he can't wait now that he feels good to be opposite Von Miller, and they showed off today, both of them.
Kansas City lost 2 of their primary weapons early on. Tony Moeaki, the end of preseason, then Jamal Charles, and these are the moments where you just feel they're struggling to find a way to replace those guys. Ball on the left side for a couple.
Lance Ball on the carry.
The Denver Broncos perfectly content to run this football, have the Chiefs use all their timeouts.
Just to add a little fuel to the fire in the debate, he's thrown a touchdown pass in all 7 starts. And again, as you said, Steve, if you're winning, why does it matter?
That's right, but it is the sharpest two-edged sword in the NFL.
2nd and 10. Clock stopped, 3:24 left to play. Kansas City Chiefs will have to regroup, go back to the drawing board with this brutal schedule coming up.
Well, you got to think about the Chiefs, what they're going through. They were 0-3. Then Todd Haley, they climbed back over the course of a month with 4 straight wins, lost the huge, embarrassing loss to the Dolphins here last week. And then today with a chance to pull even with the Raiders in the division, actually pull ahead with a better division record, and they can't do it.
Ball, we have a flag on the play. Trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Justin Houston, the rookie out of Georgia, the 3rd-round pick, made the stop.
Illegal formation. Number 87 covered up the tight end. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Call that on Eric Decker.
You can kind of tell by the look on John Fox's face. Not happy about it, but he's willing to put up with it here in the final moments.
He talked with us about how the Broncos really have had to reinvent themselves. They have the 2nd youngest offensive line in the league. The game plan obviously changes with Tim Tebow at quarterback. Brandon Lloyd is gone. Eric Decker's emerged at wide receiver. McGahee came in and really took over at the running back spot. They've been unpredictable this year, and that will result in a loss. Chiefs without a timeout remaining, just over 3 minutes left to play.
You look at the offensive numbers today. 245 rushing yards for Denver, only 69 passing. And it's not very often you see both teams in an NFL game run for more yards than they pass. Both teams.
3rd and 17 for the Denver Broncos. Just over 2.5 minutes left to go. Ball ducks his shoulder down to the 23-yard line. Kansas City Chiefs cannot stop the clock.
This will probably take us down to the 2-minute warning, and the Broncos will attempt a field goal.
So we'll see the field goal unit, we suspect, on 4th and 15 as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 17-7 Denver. Matt Prater, who already has a 38-yard field goal today, on to try one from 41 yards out. This is a distance where he struggled this season. A great from inside of 40, and yet misses again from outside the 40-yard line. 40 to 49 yards has been his Achilles heel. So our score remains 17-7. Denver. There's John Elway, now the executive vice president of football operations. The legendary quarterback, played so many great games on this field, and he's probably thinking, Steve, about Tim Tebow. Well, it's not the way I would have done it, but I'll take the W.
Well, even John Elway will tell you, in his early career in Denver, he found out, he had a conservative head coach in Dan Reeves, and he spent a lot of time having to make fourth-quarter comebacks. He had made a name for himself, maybe more than anybody else in the league, and he, more than anybody else, knows if you're going to go with a guy at quarterback, give him what he needs to be successful.
58,
let him do what he does best. John Elway was allowed to do that under Mike Shanahan and came away with 2 world championships.
Tyler Palko is in the game at quarterback for Kansas City. They run the screen. McCluster. And he's out to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 14 yards. Tyler Palko spent time with New Orleans, Pittsburgh, and now here in Kansas City. And during the week, he spent most of his time running the scout team and representing Tim Tebow.
As you see here, he's a lefty.
And here he goes. He's going to take off into Denver territory and out of bounds.
Tyler Palko, the ball carrier.
And once again, coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show from New York.
One of the things you have to think about is, why did Todd Haley decide to go with Palko? Was it the injury to Castle's throwing hand, or you just want to get him some reps?
And that's caught. Preston.
And if he comes in and has success, what kind of, do you open up a can of trouble here in Kansas City with an offense that's having trouble scoring points and a young left-hander coming in? The most popular guy in any NFL city is that backup quarterback. Ask Kyle Orton.
Good for 17 yards. Keeps it. The cluster. Down to the 22. Clock continues to run. 45 seconds remaining. That was good for 7 yards on the play.
Gilligan, underneath. Got you. Omaha, we go.
Jensen McCluster gets it out of bounds and stops the clock with 28 seconds left. Castle done for the day. We suspect so is Tim Tebow.
You see Castle listening to the radio frequency of the plays they're calling into Palko, trying to stay engaged in the game even though he's standing on the sidelines now. Hurt his hand on the last drive. Don't know if that's the reason he's out or whether it was a coach's decision.
1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Palko with time. Back to McCluster he goes. And he is dropped inside the 15-yard line by Harris. Trying to get up to the line of scrimmage and get another play off. They'll spike it. Clock will stop with 11 seconds remaining.
Now they're going to take the field goal.
Tim Tebow will be able to chalk up another W as a starter. Denver leading with 11 seconds remaining, 17-7. As Ryan Suckup comes on to try a 32-yard field goal for Kansas City. It has been another Tebow-esque kind of day for the Denver Broncos. 2 of 8 for 69 yards, but one of those was a 56-yard touchdown pass to Decker. And 3 more points for the Kansas City Chiefs with 7 seconds remaining, 17-10.
You think about how this game got to this point. It was the injury. Willis McGahee hyperextending his leg. Don't know the extent of it. No Sean Moreno also out. This was all in the first quarter. Denver loses both top running backs. So Tim Tebow on a 7-yard run gets the first touchdown of the game. And then Matt Castle to LaRon McClain got the Chiefs back to within 3. And then the enormous pass completion for the touchdown that puts the Broncos back up by 10 in the second half. And as you just saw, the Chiefs get it to within a touchdown. Now, with that last field goal with 7 seconds, they decided to take the 3 points, knowing they've got to get it at some point. So they'll take the 3 points there, try and get the onside kick quickly, and the Hail Mary throw to tie the game.
So the numbers for Tim Tebow, he accounts for 2 more touchdowns, 1 running as we saw, and then the big play to Eric Decker. 54 rushing plays for the Denver Broncos. They threw the ball only 8 times. Hans' team is out for Denver.
Not only did they only throw it 8 times, they only completed it twice. And there's something you don't see every day right there. Now he's going to kick an onside kick, and that's where he's going to put the ball. That is too confusing. You don't know where he's kicking that. I've never seen this before. Now he's going to set it up.
Broncos hadn't seen it either, so they take a timeout.
The Broncos take a timeout. They haven't seen anything like that. Succop laying the football off the tee on its side. The story of the game, 54 rushing plays, 8 passes. Denver absolutely steamrolled the Kansas City Chiefs offensively in the first half. Didn't score very many points, but they absolutely dominated the time of possession and getting first downs and just staying on the field. Managed 10 points at the half, and it was all due to their running game.
Eric Decker with his 7th touchdown catch of the season as he has really emerged, having this breakout year. Only player in the league with more touchdown catches than Eric Decker is Calvin Johnson.
And here's the, instead of laying it on the ground like a hot dog. And this is going to be interesting because you've never seen this before. Watch what happens.
7 seconds left, onside kick. Ball was loose. Let's see who came up with it.
Chiefs had a shot at it.
And it almost seemed to unfold in slow motion.
Well, I think that's the idea. The Broncos had to let it go 10 yards before they could touch it. And when it's rolling sideways, and we all know that ball is not round. And it is hard to get a handle on.
And the Broncos have it.
And the officials getting feisty in there as well. Let me tell you something. Satan himself lives at the bottom of an NFL pile. It is no fun down in there. Everybody's trying to get a hand on that ball. The last guys up are the Broncos. Who are they going to give the ball to?
Mario Hagan comes away with it.
And it's got to go 10 yards to the 45-yard line, and it did. And then you see it squirt out. Hagan goes in after it. And that's it. You just want the ball to bounce sideways and, of course, unpredictably.
Spencer Larson, the fullback, had a first shot at it. But it came loose and finally recovered by Denver.
First down.
So after all of that, 5 seconds remaining. Broncos will take a knee, and that will be it.
And there's Hagan right there. He ends up with it. After all of that, you see him trying to pull him off the pile, but it comes down to a kneel down for Denver.
And there it is. 17-10. Big win for Tim Tebow, John Fox, and the Denver Broncos. 17-10. So for Steve Tasker, this is Bill McAtee saying so long from Kansas City. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show as we take you to New York for all the scores and highlights from Week 10 after this.